First contact under fire. Captain Eliza Reyes stood on the bridge of the UEC Thunderchild, watching the stars drift by on the main view screen. Humanity's first deep space warship was 6 months into its maiden voyage, venturing farther from Earth than any crewed vessel in history. The ship represented everything humanity had accomplished in the century since discovering FTL travel, advanced weaponry, experimental shields, and an engine system that could outrun anything they'd encountered so far. Captain, I'm detecting unusual energy signatures at bearing 247, Lieutenant Commander Park announced from the sensor station. Distance approximately 3 light minutes. Reyes straightened her uniform jacket. Analysis. Consistent with weapons fire, Captain. High-energy plasma discharges and what appears to be some form of particle beam weapons. First contact protocol dictated observation from a distance, but Reyes had never been one to hide when there might be people in danger. Helm, set course to investigate. Keep us at a cautious distance. All stations to yellow alert. As the Thunderchild approached, the sensor readings clarified into a grim tableau, a one-sided massacre. A fleet of sleek, predatory vessels, with hull configurations unlike anything in Earth's database, was systematically destroying what appeared to be civilian transport ships. The attackers' vessels were black with red accents, resembling birds of prey. The defenders' ships were silvery blue, more rounded in design, and clearly not built for combat. We're detecting life signs on the civilian vessels, Park reported, his voice tight. But they're fading fast. Reyes clenched her jaw. Open a channel to both fleets, all frequencies. Channel open, the communications officer replied. This is Captain Eliza Reyes of the United Earth Confederation vessel Thunderchild. We are witnessing what appears to be an attack on civilian vessels. We request an immediate cessation of hostilities and an explanation. The only response was a sudden shift in the battle. 3 of the predatory vessels broke formation and accelerated toward the Thunderchild. They're powering weapons, Park warned. Shields up. Defensive posture, Reyes ordered calmly. But don't fire unless fired upon. The alien vessels approached rapidly, then launched a barrage of energy weapons. The Thunderchild's experimental quantum shields flared brilliant blue, absorbing the attack without strain. Shields holding at 98%, reported Lieutenant Keller at Tactical. Their weapons are powerful, but nothing we can't handle. Return fire, Reyes commanded. Targeted disabling shots only. I want to get their attention, not start a war. The Thunderchild's precision beam weapons lanced out, striking the lead vessel's propulsion systems with surgical accuracy. The alien ship immediately began drifting, its engines dark. A harsh, guttural voice suddenly filled the bridge. Unknown vessel, you interfere in matters beyond your understanding. The Vorax Imperium claims these sectors and all resources within them. Stand down or be destroyed with the Nixar vermin. Reyes raised an eyebrow. Open channel. This is Captain Reyes. We have no quarrel with the Vorax Imperium, but we will not stand by while civilian vessels are destroyed. I propose an immediate ceasefire and diplomatic discussion. The response was another wave of attackers, 6 vessels this time, approaching in a formation clearly designed to overwhelm. They're not interested in talking, Captain, Keller observed dryly. So it seems, Reyes replied. Full combat protocols authorized. Show them what a ship from Earth can do. The Thunderchild moved with unexpected agility for a vessel its size, its main engines flaring as it executed a combat maneuver that the ship's AI calculated had a 0.03% probability of being anticipated by the attackers. The human vessel slipped between 2 Vorax ships, unleashing a barrage that disabled the weapons systems on both before they could react. Captain, Park called out, I'm receiving a transmission from one of the civilian vessels. They're requesting assistance. Put it through, Reyes ordered. A melodious voice, somehow conveying desperation despite its beauty, filled the bridge. Unknown vessel, we are Nixar refugees. The Vorax hunt us for our technology. Please, we have children aboard. Rice didn't hesitate. We'll cover your escape. Head for coordinates we're transmitting now. Tactical, deploy countermeasures and maintain position between the Vorax and those civilian ships. The battle intensified as the Thunderchild engaged the Vorax fleet single-handedly. What the human vessel lacked in numbers, it made up for in technological sophistication and the unpredictable combat strategies programmed by Earth's finest military minds. They're falling back, regrouping, Keller reported with satisfaction after the Thunderchild had disabled or driven off a dozen enemy vessels. A new transmission came through, this time visual. The screen showed a hulking figure with scaled crimson skin, prominent tusks, and yellow eyes filled with cold calculation. "I am War Commander Drax of the Vorax Imperium," the alien announced. "Your vessel's capabilities are unexpected. Identify your species and origin." Reyes stood tall. "I am Captain Eliza Reyes of Earth, representing the United Earth Confederation. We have no interest in your conflicts, War Commander, but we will defend those unable to defend themselves." The Vorax commander's eyes narrowed. "Earth? Unknown. Your combat capabilities suggest advanced technology, yet our scans show primitive biological forms. Deathworlders, perhaps." "Interesting. Deathworlders?" Rice questioned. "Species evolved on high-gravity, high-radiation planets with extreme climate variations and abundant predators," the alien explained with dismissive contempt. "Rare, usually too violent and unsophisticated to achieve space travel. The Nixar you protect are similar, another Deathworld species that should have perished on their toxic homeworld." Something clicked in Reyes' mind. The commander wasn't just surprised by the Thunderchild's technology. He was surprised humans had achieved it at all. "Perhaps you've underestimated what Deathworlders are capable of," Reyes replied evenly. The Vorax commander made a sound like grinding stones, possibly laughter. A bold claim from a species encountering its first interstellar conflict. "The Vorax have conquered 67 star systems. We have annihilated species far more advanced than yours. Yet here we are," Reyes countered, "one ship standing between you and your prey." The alien's expression shifted to something unreadable. "One primitive vessel that has enjoyed the element of surprise. It will not save you. I offer you this chance. Depart now, forget what you've seen, and the Vorax may postpone our inevitable conquest of your homeworld." Reyes smiled thinly. "And I offer you this chance, War Commander. Cease your attack on the Nixar, or discover exactly why Earth species have not only survived our death world, but thrived upon it." The Vorax commander's yellow eyes gleamed. "You have spirit, human. Very well. I accept your challenge. Let us see if your species' brutality matches its arrogance." The transmission cut off abruptly as the Vorax fleet began to maneuver into an attack formation. Park looked up from his console. "Captain, I count 37 Vorax vessels moving to surround us. The Nixar ships are almost at the escape coordinates, but they won't make it before the Vorax can intercept." Ray studied the tactical display, noting the positions of each enemy vessel. Against conventional wisdom, against overwhelming odds, she felt a smile forming. "Then it appears we'll need to show the Vorax exactly what humans from a death world can do," she said. "Battle stations. All hands prepare for combat. Let's make Earth proud." Defiance of the Deathworlders. The Thunderchild's bridge was bathed in the red glow of battle stations as the Vorax armada closed in. 37 warships against one. The kind of odds that would make any reasonable commander surrender. Captain Rice was many things, but at this moment, reasonable wasn't one of them. "Analysis of Vorax attack patterns?" she asked, eyes fixed on the tactical display. Lieutenant Commander Park responded immediately. "They're highly coordinated but predictable, standard encirclement doctrine. They expect us to either flee or make a stand and fight to the last. Then let's disappoint them," Rice decided. "Helm, execute maneuver thesis. Tactical, target-only propulsion and weapons systems. Engineering, prepare for emergency power to shields when I give the order. The bridge crew acknowledged their orders with practiced efficiency as the Thunderchild suddenly accelerated directly toward the largest concentration of Vorax ships. To the aliens, it must have looked like insanity or desperation. Charging into the teeth of superior numbers, it was neither. At the last possible moment, the human vessel cut its main engines and fired its maneuvering thrusters in a complex sequence that sent it tumbling between two Vorax vessels. The alien ships, attempting to track the Thunderchild's erratic movement, ended up firing on each other. In the chaos, the human warship picked off 3 more enemy vessels with precision strikes to their engines. What are these creatures doing? War Commander Drax demanded from the bridge of his flagship. No species fights like this. It's undisciplined, chaotic. His tactical officer, a veteran of 20 campaigns, looked up from his console with unsettled eyes. It's not chaos, Commander. It's adaptation. They're changing tactics faster than our battle computers can analyze and respond. It's as if they're improvising. On the Thunderchild, Rise watched as her ship danced through the Vorax formation, dealing damage and disrupting their carefully planned maneuvers. The human vessel was taking hits, shields down to 67% and falling, but they were buying crucial time for the Nixar refugee ships. Incoming transmission from the lead Nixar vessel, the communications officer announced. Put it through, Rise ordered, gripping her command chair as the ship shuddered under enemy fire. The view screen showed a slender, blue-skinned humanoid with large, luminous eyes and delicate features that nonetheless suggested formidable resilience. Captain Rise, I am Ambassador Taylor of the Nixar Collective. Your intervention is unprecedented. We've never witnessed such combat prowess from a single vessel. Just doing what's right, Ambassador, Rise replied as the ship rocked from another hit. Though we could use some assistance if your vessels have any defensive capabilities. The ambassador's expression shifted. Our ships are not built for war, Captain, but perhaps we can offer something else. We've analyzed your biology during this engagement. You truly are Deathworlders like us. Your species evolved under conditions most galactic life would find impossible. The Vorax mentioned that, Rise acknowledged. Seems to be a rare thing. Exceptionally rare, Taylor confirmed. Less than 0.01% of all spacefaring species emerge from high-gravity, high-radiation environments with extreme predation. Such conditions force evolutionary adaptations that most of the galaxy finds frightening. Enhanced strength, redundant biological systems, aggressive immune responses, accelerated neural processing. Rise raised an eyebrow. You're saying we're naturally tougher because Earth tried to kill us for millions of years. Precisely. And it gives your species advantages the Vorax cannot comprehend. Their homeworld is a paradise compared to Earth or Nixar. They evolved in comfort and conquered through numbers and technology, not adaptation. A plan began forming in Raya's mind. Ambassador, can your ships emit an electromagnetic pulse that would temporarily disable Vorax shields without affecting their life support? Taylor looked surprised. Yes, our research vessels carry such devices for stellar studies, but at close range, it would disable your systems as well. Reyes smiled. That's counting on conventional systems. Lieutenant Keller, initiate Protocol Faraday. Aye, Captain. Protocol Faraday engage, Keller responded, entering a complex sequence into his console. The Thunderchild's systems shifted to a hardened state, specifically designed to withstand electromagnetic interference, a legacy of Earth's tumultuous history with nuclear weapons and their EMP effects. Ambassador Taylor, have your vessels move to these coordinates and prepare to activate your pulse generators on my mark. Rise instructed. Helm, set course for the Vorax flagship. We're going to pay War Commander Drax a personal visit. The Thunderchild charged directly at the Vorax command vessel, drawing the attention of the entire enemy fleet. As the aliens concentrated their fire on the human ship, the Nixar vessels quietly moved into position. Shields at 31%, "Captain," Park reported tensely, "we can't take much more of this." "We won't have to," Rise assured him. "Signal the Nixar. Execute in 3, 2, 1, mark." The Nixar ships activated their pulse generators simultaneously. A wave of electromagnetic energy washed across the battlefield, causing every Vorax vessel to suddenly go dark as their sensitive shield systems and weapons arrays overloaded. The Thunderchild shuddered but maintained power and control. "All Vorax vessels disabled," Park announced with a hint of wonder in his voice. "Their backup systems will restore functionality in approximately 3 minutes." "More than enough time," Rise said, rising from her chair. "Tactical. Target the Vorax flagship's command deck with a precision strike. I want to send a message, not destroy them." The Thunderchild's beam weapons fired once, slicing through the now unshielded hull of the Vorax flagship with surgical precision. The beam stopped just short of the command deck, leaving the metal glowing and partially melted. "Open a channel to War Commander Drax," Rise ordered. The Vorax commander appeared on screen, his ship's emergency lighting casting ominous shadows across his scaled face. For the first time, there was something besides arrogance in his yellow eyes: uncertainty. "This is what Deathworlders are capable of, War Commander," Rise stated flatly. "We adapt. We improvise. We overcome. Your next move determines whether this becomes a lesson or a tragedy." The Vorax commander was silent for a long moment. "The Imperium does not surrender." "I'm not asking for surrender," Rise countered. "I'm offering an alternative to mutual destruction. The Nixar will be under Earth's protection from this day forward. Any action against them will be considered an act of war against humanity." "You speak boldly for a species with one warship," Drax growled. Ambassador Taylor's voice came through an open channel. "They won't have just one for long, War Commander. The Nixar Collective offers an immediate technology exchange and mutual defense pact with Earth. 2 Deathworld species in alliance. Consider the implications." The Vorax commander's expression darkened as he calculated this new reality. "The Imperium will withdraw from this sector temporarily, but the High Command will not accept this outcome. We will return. And we'll be waiting," Rise promised. "Perhaps by then, you'll have learned that evolution on a harsh world doesn't just make us brutal, it makes us unstoppable when protecting others." The transmission ended. Slowly, the Vorax fleet began to retreat, their vessels limping away on auxiliary power. 3 days later, Captain Rise stood in the Thunderchild's conference room with Ambassador Taylor, finalizing the details of humanity's first interstellar alliance. "Your intervention has changed everything," the Nixar ambassador said softly. "For millennia, Deathworld species have been viewed with suspicion or hunted to extinction. Now, for the first time, we stand together." Rise looked out the viewport at the stars. "The Vorax were right about one thing. Earth is brutal. Our history is filled with conflict and struggle. But they failed to understand what that crucible created. A species that fights hardest not for conquest, but for others who can't fight for themselves. A powerful quality," Taylor observed, "and one that will send shockwaves through the galaxy." Already, word spreads of the single Earth vessel that defied an armada. Rise smiled. "Then let the galaxy know. Humanity has arrived, and we stand with those who seek peace, but heaven help those who prey on the defenseless." Throughout the stars, the story began to spread. Of humans from Earth, Deathworlders who had turned their evolutionary brutality into a shield for the vulnerable, rather than a sword for conquest. The galaxy was about to learn what humanity had known for centuries. Sometimes, the harshest worlds produce the strongest defenders.